Well, hello there. I should be doing this. Is that how it goes? Hello and welcome to today's session on doing a Madonna. How does she start her Vogue thing? There you go. I'm Nima and this is Finding Nima Live. Thank you for joining me. Right. Doing a Madonna. What am I on about? Well, it's the idea that there are different versions of you throughout life. Sometimes we don't realize that we've changed and morphed and become something else. Other times we deliberately step into that new space. And that's what I am inviting you to do today. It's the thought of, how many iterations of you have there been so far? Are you where you want to be? Are you who and how you want to be? And if not, what are you doing about it? So I just want to take you through a few of my, I suppose, things that I've realized and that I look back upon. When I was, so I got this wonderful trick of getting ready in literally 3 minutes flat. When I was on TV, I used to do my makeup and hair and bits in the car just before we started filming, or in the toilet if I was on an aeroplane, or when we landed just before I left the airport. So I'm really good at these very quick, get it on, get out there, be ready. And that's exactly what I've done today. And as I was doing this literally 10 minutes ago, I thought, wait a minute, let me have a look and see how many iterations, variations, versions of me there've been and that are out there on the internet. So I did a search, put my name in the search bar, and this is what came up. I'm going to just share this with you. Ta-da! So these are just some, not all, of the variations of me. And I tell you what, I've got a lot more to do and be. There's a lot more life to happen and things to do and variations and iterations of me that need to come to life. What about you? What about you? I'd love to know, maybe in a comment or send me a DM, whatever. I'd love to know, here's an action plan. Go and look over things, moments in your life when there's been a pivot, there's been a change in direction in you. And what is it? What's it from and to? When did it happen? Is it something you were intentional about, or it just sort of happened? So this idea of being intentional, it's something that I'm really conscious of in this phase of life. So let me give you a bit of backstory. Every step in my journey has been linked to something before it. For example, I have a master's in medical engineering. So I used to work in a hospital for the healthcare service. And I did that as my day job. And I also thought, wait a minute, I can do more, because I'm that kind of person. I can always do more. And I created a radio program, health, medical stuff, well-being. And I also used to write articles, so rehash the same content and use it, leverage it, earn more than once from the same sort of lot of work that I was putting out. But the point is this, that phase led to the next phase. I got a call. Somebody said, we need somebody with a medical background to do medical reports. Bing, they found me because they knew about my radio program. They'd read my articles. And then I got another call saying, we need somebody who speaks Arabic to, again, do another TV program. They knew me because of the work I was doing in TV at that point, and it was in Arabic. So the point is, every single step is linked to the next one. So somebody who did science and engineering, me, has ended up being on stages around the world, on global TV, doing things like, yes, politics, geopolitics, and then business and finance. And it has also involved things like money and life, sustainability, sustaining yourself first, women at the core of all of this. It's not something that I'm sort of leaning into now. When I was 10 minutes ago, just getting ready for this, I looked at videos, not just images, and a video came up that I'm going to post in the next few days. The whole video is a 4-minute video. And it really shows you a very different version of me. I'm going to see if I can just pull it up right now. If I can, then great. Just give me a sec. I'm going to do this. Oh, I can't do it. Excellent. All right, not to worry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to post the video in in a post over the next few days. But basically, it shows a very androgynous version of me. Extremely short hair, pinstripe suit. I mean, really. So the point is, everything happens when it happens. We keep moving forward until we die, right? And I really mean this. Are you where you want to be? Is the current version of you the version that sits most comfortably within you? So that's one idea. I mean, look at Madonna. How many versions of Madonna have there been? And do you think she's done yet? I don't think so. She is not done. More power to her and more power to you. That's the point, right? Life passes us by, seize the day. So that's one idea. The other idea is this. It's the idea of the pivot. Now, you've heard me, I'm sure, talking about lean into your earning potential. It's a really specific, deliberate thing that I invite you to think about. Because guess what? I've got a lot more living and life in me, fingers crossed. And that means that I need to have the money and the finances to pay for the rest of my life, even when I'm not able to earn. And that's why I say to you, lean into your earning potential. For women especially women of a certain age or a certain phase of life, it's really important because a lot of women spend a decade plus looking after other people, not leaning into their earning potential, not even earning sometimes. And things like life happens. So divorce peaks at around the age of 44, 45 for women, a decade into them being, not earning or not earning as much as they could, and being very dependent on somebody else for their finances. So it's a bit stinky, isn't it? The other thing is, look at what's just happened over the past couple of years. Look at COVID. And that's not just going to go away anytime soon, is it? So the financial fallout of that has been seismic, especially for women. And that's why I keep saying, lean into your earning potential. What does that mean? Okay, so let's marry that with the idea of pivot. I don't know what you're doing. How about thinking, just, daydreaming and thinking to yourself, I would love to be doing X. What is that X? How can you pivot into that? Can that be the next version of you? And it doesn't mean that you leave everything that you've done so far behind. Not at all. In fact, it builds on what you've done so far. Just like when I started out, medical engineering, healthcare service, radio, media, and on it goes. It's the same for you. You've accumulated knowledge, experience, insight, gut instinct, all sorts of things that you can actually lean into when you do your pivot. So really, today's session is for me about the idea of you've got a lot more life in you. What are you doing to lean into your life? And that includes leaning into your earning potential. That's one. Two, what's your next pivot? Are you where you want to be? Are you doing and living and being the way you want to be? If not, what's the pivot? It can be scary, it can be terrifying. So guess what I just did? 45 minutes ago? I created a Facebook group. It's my first ever time to do this, to create a Facebook group. And I've got a confession to make, which is this: I don't do Facebook. So I realized as I was creating this Facebook group that I inadvertently sent out a ping message to people a few weeks ago when I went into Facebook, and I thought I was changing settings to be totally private and hidden. But in fact, I pinged my universe saying, hello, here I am, and here's a photo of me somehow. So my friends probably think I'm being really, snooty, aloof, not being in touch, not responding to their wonderful messages that I just saw. But the point is this: we need community now more than ever. And I know that I would be doing so much more with my life if I had the support. And I mean support, people bounce, people who can lift you up, who can hold you, who can just listen to you sometimes, or just be there, give you a high five. If I had that sort of community. So I've set up a Facebook group called Women Thriving. I want you to join. If you can't find it, get in touch with me. You should have, what I'll do is I'll put a slide up with my email address and with the URL of the Facebook group. But basically you can get in touch, DM me, however you're watching this, or get in touch via email. But please do join. And the idea really is to come together and to enable each other to sustain our self, our version of success, and thrive in whatever way we decide is the right way for us at this point in time. And I bet you anything, it's going to include you pivoting towards something, away from something, doing things deliberately so that you lean into your version of success and life. How about it? Women Thriving is the name of the Facebook group. So that's one. So far, let's do a Madonna. How many versions and iterations of you have there been so far? What's your next thing? 2, what is your pivot? Go for it. 3, I've set up a Facebook group called Women Thriving. Please join it. Here's the thing. When I was 17, I remember this vividly, there was a point, I made a decision, and the decision was this, that I am never going to depend on anyone ever. And that says a lot about what had happened in my first 17 years of life. That's a discussion for another time, if at all. I've always followed the do-it-yourself path. I don't want to depend on people. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to do it myself. So I've done it myself. But I know that surrounding myself with the right kind of people will be magical. So on the one hand, I say do it yourself. Absolutely do not wait. And again, especially for the women out there, I come across women every single day who say variations of, oh, it's not fair. Oh, this person should do that and that company should do this. Yes, I agree with you. I'm with you. Absolutely. But is it going to happen? I hope so. Are you going to wait? Your life happens every day. You are the one who's paying the ultimate price because your life, your days tick by. So do it yourself, but do it with me by your side, with people like me and you together. Yeah. So come along. Let's create a community. Let me know what your pivot is, what your Madonna moment is going to be. And yeah. Oh, one more thing. I've decided that I'm going to pick somebody from, okay, so today's Wednesday, right? This is when this is going out live. Tomorrow, Thursday, every Thursday, I am going to post a post in LinkedIn, and I'm going to choose somebody who comments on that post to spend 45 minutes with me picking my brain. So you win a pick my brain session for 45 minutes. And it's about this kind of thing. Where are you? What do you want to be doing? What are you doing to make that happen? And so much more. You can ask me about anything, basically. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I do. Money, life, women, sustaining success, communicating. So feel free to dive into whatever it is that you want to dive into. But again, keeping things stuck inside you, you are the loser. Waiting for something to change for the right moment, really, just do it. Do it yourself, whatever that it is. And it's okay to be brave and scared at the same time. I know it sounds cheesy and cliche, but it is so true. And guess what? By moving forward and taking that first step and then the second and the third, you will feel differently as you progress, as you do it more. It becomes your new norm, so that when you look back, you think, wow, I used to be that person. Yes, you remember things, and then you realize how far you've come, and you realize that, again, it's iterations of you. It's all linked, and you can go further faster if you are with a community. A community. I'm really happy in my own company, and I'm happy just in living in my head. But there is a lot to be said for the bounce of brilliant minds, and for feeling that you are not alone and that you're not going mad, so that if you're going through something, you realize, it's not me, or it's not just me. And you know, it really does make a huge difference. How about it? Are you going to join me in the Facebook group? It's my first group ever. Are you going to look out for my post tomorrow morning and comment and hopefully spend 45 minutes with me? Pick my brain? I hope so. And I hope that you spend time today. If you have a diary, write about it. If you don't, grab a piece of paper and write. Just thinking about, okay, where am I? Who am I? What am I doing? How am I living? Where do I want to be? How do I want to live? And then what am I doing to make it happen? Don't beat yourself up. Forgive yourself. I'm still learning to do that for many, many reasons. And then do it. See, that's the unforgivable thing for me. It's the knowing, having support, having people around you, having the ingredients, and still not doing it. How about it? Right, I'm going to show you now the things I would like you to do. You can win a 45-minute Pick My Brain session if you comment on my LinkedIn post tomorrow, Thursday. Please join the Women Thriving Facebook group. You can see the URL here. So it's basically facebook.com groups Finding Nima. If you have any problems, just email me, nima@finding-nima.com. And do it. Promise me. Pinky promise. And you know what? Next week, I want you to dress up in something that you feel fabulous in, because we're going to be talking about how what we wear, how we are on the outside, really affects us on the inside too. Yep. And if you want to send a photo of what you're going to be wearing, that's even better. That's all from me. I'm going to put that slide up again at the very end. And yeah, how about it? I'll see you in the Facebook group. Cool? Bye for now.